Hi there. My name's Grant Miles, Dr. Grant Miles, and I will be your instructor for BUA 649 Management Policy for this spring semester of 2018. I wanted to just give a kind of welcome and brief overview of what the course is going to be, since this is only the second time that this course has been offered online. Um, there's not probably not a whole lot of information out there about the nature of the course, how it works, etc. So I thought I'd try to kind of bring you up to speed a little bit before we get started with the actual course material. Um, I believe that the course is going to be better this semester. I was mostly okay with it last spring, but learned a few things with an all online format, and have made some changes that I think will improve things. That said, we have quite a few more students this semester. I think 24 currently enrolled, and I'm sure that's going to bring new challenges. So, um, hope you find it good. Bear with me if we bump into problems, and know that we'll figure them out as we go along. Um, the nature of the course as we go through. The course is going to be primarily asynchronous. That is, you can work on the course at your own pace whenever during the week you feel like it or have time, or whatever the case might be. However, the course is structured. That is, we go from week to week with a new lesson each week, and you need to do the quizzes, the assignments, the discussion postings during that week if you want credit for them. So it is asynchronous on the one hand, however, it is also interactive and involving, and you will need to keep up with it on a week to week basis. Um, the way it will work is that I will release a new lesson, generally late Sunday night, Monday morning. You'll have until the following Sunday to complete the lesson, and whatever work goes along with it. Um, do note, and I'll speak more to this in a moment, but we do have a textbook. We will use it extensively. There will be a quiz each week on the textbook chapter. So you might want to get in the habit of reading the textbook chapter before you start any of the lessons. Um, there's some challenges with doing this course in an online format. As you probably know, this is a capstone course. It's supposed to be the one that brings all the various pieces of the MBA program together. Given that, if we were a face-to-face class, most of the class time would be spent in discussion, going through cases, applications, etc. However, in an asynchronous, all online course, we can't do that exactly. However, we'll make our best effort to come as close to it as possible as we can in an online world. We will do cases. We will have discussion boards where we can have interactive discussions. We will have a lot of application. We're going to try to replicate the face-to-face experience as best we can. Does mean, though, that you have to stay involved every week. For example, if there are discussion board postings, if you wait until Sunday night to get it in just before the deadline, then nobody benefits from your post, because no one else is going to see that and respond to it late on Sunday night, except perhaps one or two other people who are also waiting till the very last minute. So you need to get in the habit of getting started on the lesson earlier in the week, come back to it after other people have posted, respond, get the interaction going. If you really want to get the most out of the course, and I'm going to see what I can do during the semester to prompt you to do it over time. Think of it this way: if you normally have homework in a course, you go to the class for 3 hours in a face-to-face class, plus you do work. So make sure that you allocate an appropriate amount of time to this class if you want to do well Okay, I'm checking my notes here. I think with all that said, let me kind of highlight what's going on with the way I'm laying out Blackboard and the way the course will work. Um, See if I can shrink myself down here and show you a little more of the screen. So when you enter the course, the Blackboard page will take you to this course content page. You'll see I've made a couple of things available right here at the top. Um, for example, the link to purchase the textbook. I think your best bet is an e-edition, an online edition. That makes it less expensive, not cheap, but certainly much less expensive than a hard copy. But if you want to purchase a hard copy, you can. You may well find some used versions available on Amazon or other sites if you want to go that route. Um, I've also created a variety of other helpful links, firm and industry analysis, because we will be doing a lot of application. These are various links to different websites that can help you in that analysis. Um, Readings we will have in addition to the textbook. For some lessons, I will post various readings. That's where they'll go. Contact information that's not only for me, but also for Blackboard help and some of those things. But the real area that you're going to want to get familiar with is the lessons. So let's click on that button and go there for a minute. What you see here right now are the lessons that have already been opened up. An overview and introduction, we'll come back to that in a minute. And then lesson one, the introduction to strategy. That's our lesson for the first week. So let's click on that one. And you'll see that the way it is laid out, you've got kind of a table of contents over here. And I have set it up so that you are supposed to go through it kind of screen by screen. Once you come back, you can jump in wherever you want. But I think it's helpful if you kind of follow my logic. I think it will make more sense. So typically we'll start out with a quick overview and some objectives for the lesson. And then I mentioned there will be a quiz each week on the material. So this screen says if you have not read the chapter yet, pause here and go back and read it. And then go to the next screen where you will have a quiz. These are timed. You have to get them done within 15 minutes. The idea is that you must have read the chapter before you take the quiz. This is not for you to try to look up the answers once you have started taking the quiz. Once you've taken the quiz, you can then move on, and then either in text or in video or a combination, I will give kind of my take on that week's material. Sometimes this will be to further explain material in the text, sometimes to supplement it with additional material that I think is important, sometimes to raise some questions on things in the text that I think are could have a different take on it. One of the things you'll find out as we go through this course is that there's a lot of room for different views when it comes to strategy for a firm. So in this particular lesson, I've done it mostly with text. But then we get to the end of the lesson and there is an application. In this case, it's a video of Michael Porter. When you click to the next page, Michael Porter pops up.
If we're going to have a good strategy, we've got to think clearly about what strategy is.
Of what strategy is. Having read the book's view of strategy, my view, and now hearing Michael Porter's, then the final link takes you to a discussion board posting. You can click to launch it here, and it takes you to the discussion forum where you are asked to make a post about how you think each of these various approaches to strategy, these different views of what strategy is, fit together. So that's kind of the way the lessons will work. Again, new ones will open up each week, and you are expected to do them during the week that they open up. I want to go back 1 second and go back to the overview and introduction link. Please, this is part of your assignment. When you click on it, you'll find that the first part really just kind of reiterates some of the things I'm telling you here. It tells you just a little bit about me. the nature of the instruction in the course. Does talk again about your contribution, the fact that you need to stay involved, you need to ask why, you need to not just memorize, but try to apply and think about the material if you're going to get the most out of it. It does also include a note on civility. One of the things that research has shown is that in online forums, people tend to be a little anonymous and sometimes forget about how they ought to act. So in the same way that I would insist on civility in a face-to-face class, I'm going to insist on civility in the nature of our discussions. Feel free to disagree, have a lively discussion, but do it in an appropriate manner. To help in that regard, the final thing in this little area gives you a couple of things to do. One is to post a picture of yourself, try to remove some of the anonymity. The other is to go again to the discussion board and post information about you so that we can all get to know one another, again, as best we can within an online world. So, I think that's about it for this overview. As always, as we go through the semester, feel free to holler if you have questions. I would much rather you ask than to remain in a quandary over something. I want people to get involved. I want us all to have a great semester. So let me know if you have any questions. I look forward to seeing everybody's posts as we head into the first week's lessons.